All right, now I want to handle these increment and decrement buttons. So let's go back to the cart page. And let's see, what do I want here? By default, they're calling the update cart action. All right, and if you go to the controller servlet, the update cart action is a post method, or post action. And here's where that is. Okay. And in the Affable Bean project, basically, if you type some number into a field and then hit update, that will update the quantity in your cart. But in this project, I don't have that. So I think what I'm going to do here is something a little bit different. I'm going to create, I don't even think I'm going to need the update cart. I'm going to create increments increment and decrement actions. Okay. All right, having a little trouble with the microphone here. Else if user path equals decrement, then do something else. All right, and I don't really need to delete update cart yet, but it might eventually be deleted. So let's see. So update cart, I'm going to put as URL patterns that are recognized. I'm going to put increment, and I'm going to put decrement. All right, I'm going to have to restart the server to test this, but that's okay. So what should increment and decrement buttons do? Maybe I'll work on the controller servlet first here. Increment and decrement buttons should pass in a book ID, a book identifier, so I know what book quantity to increment or decrement. Okay. So it's going to be similar to this. I'm going to have let's assume I have a book ID. So I'm going to get that request parameter. So I'm going to copy that from there. For increment. And I'm going to say, I'm just going to assume that this is not empty, since I'm only going to do this from my cart page. And then essentially I want to update the quantity in the book. So let's see if I can do this without having to write a new method. That's the question. So if I put cart, I would need to do update method, and ooh, one of the problems is that is a quantity string. How irritating. Okay. Instead of trying to do a calculation to get this, and basically I only have the book ID and I would need the item. So I think this is too much of a hassle to try to use update. What I am going to do, though, is I'll just put a to do there. Finish this. What I am going to do is I'm going to go to the shopping cart. And instead of just an update method, I'm going to add synchronized void. I'm going to add increment and decrement methods. Okay, so if we're incrementing the book, we do one thing, and if we're decrementing the book, we do another thing. Okay, let's first do increment. All right, I don't think these will be too difficult. Basically, I'm going to get the matching items just like I did for update. Okay. And then if there are no matching items, I'm just going to return. I'm just going to ignore it. If there is a matching item, I'm just going to get the first item. I'm going to assume that there's only one matching item. And then I might put some restrictions on, how many books I can have. Actually, I've already have a restriction in update. I have that restriction, but I don't think I'm even going to end up calling update at all. So let's do this. Copy, paste. Okay, so matching items. If matching item is empty, just return. Otherwise, get that item. And this is increment. So if the quantity is of the item is already equal to 10, okay, so if item dot get quantity is greater than or equal to 10, I mean, it's probably never going to be greater than, then I'm just going to return. Okay, I'm not going to do anything. Otherwise, I'm going to increment. Okay, so I'm going to say item dot increment quantity. And that looks right. And it's saying I can simplify this. Unnecessary return statement. Okay, remove it. Well, that's a dumb way to to simplify it. Okay, so if item is, let's try that again. If item quantity is less than 10, then I'm going to increment the quantity, and otherwise I'll just return. So that looks like a better simplification to me. And we're going to do something similar with decrement book. Okay. Decrement book. List shopping cart, matching items book. And then we get the item. And so the decrement book special case is if we have exactly one book left, we're going to have to remove that Okay, so we're going to have to remove that from the shopping cart. Okay, so from the list, we're going to remove the item. And otherwise, we're going to decrement the quantity.